Thanks for tuning in. I know we're a little bit late. This is the latest we've ever recorded a NASCAR show in a long time. Obviously, on the new channel here, Mystery Caution. But you know what they say, better late than never. It's been a crazy week, starting with Bristol and all the travel and everything, and then having to come back and then cram for the March Madness. That was crazy. And of course, there was a big golf event on Sunday, the TPC. That was crazy, catching up on that. I had an NFL draft guide deadline this week for our lads. That was crazy. It was nuts. So, and I was actually thinking for the very first time, should I wait until after qualifying? And then I said, why break precedent? So we went ahead and we just decided, or I just decided to go ahead and do this. I am recording it at 9:30 at night on Friday. So that means it should be up probably, I would guess, at some point before midnight on Friday night. So that'll definitely be available, obviously, to everybody out there that will get an opportunity to at least watch it before qualifying tomorrow, before the odds come down. You can make your decision if you want to wager before the odds or not, keeping in mind that so far in only 3 races, pole position hasn't been as huge as you would think for this particular road course, but we'll get into that. Okay, so EchoPark Automotive, Grand Prix of Texas, Circuit of the Americas, race number 6 in the Cup Series, following Bristol, Denny Hamlin's win. So both CJ and I hit on that one. We talked about Denny being one of 3 heavy favorites last week. So we were very fortunate to have grabbed Denny as the only one of the 3, and that worked out for us. All right, let's take a look at the futures now. As nothing dramatic has changed. So once again, if you're just looking at this for the first time, I would say Christopher Bell. It's up to you if you want to wait or not. You know what we feel. He's our predictive champion this year. So 7-1's not bad, but if he goes through a slump, you're going to get much better than that because he doesn't have a big name. But it's up to you. Blaney, I definitely think this is a good time to take him, even though Ryan Blaney can also go through slumps. And when he does, he just doesn't have the reputation either. So, again, it's up to you. Other than that, I think Chase Elliott is now starting to get a little bit interesting. He's 12-1. You might want to think about it because this week, road course, he's one of the favorites. I like him this week. You're not getting 12-1 next week if he does win in Texas. Chastain is still a very, very good 14. Kyle also. Reddick also. Those are really good odds for those 3 drivers. And you know what? I'd probably say that those would be the best, without a doubt, the best bargains right now. Elliott, Chastain, Kyle Busch, and Reddick between 12 and 16-1. All right, now these are the odds for the race. And we're going to go over, of course, all of these. Actually, they've changed just a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and go through them. Let's take a look. First of all, track trend number 1. And that is Circuit of the Americas. It is a road course, our first road course of the season. Other road courses include Indianapolis, the Roval in Charlotte, Sonoma, and Watkins Glen. Track trend number 2. 2 of the 3 winners at COTA started at the top 10. Farthest back, 16th. So, yeah, it's not a whole lot to go on there, except just to say that you had 2nd, 8th, 16th. Those were the 3 starting positions for the 3 winners. Track trend number 3, and this is the most interesting. Chevy has completely dominated this racetrack. They've won 2 out of 3. More importantly, if you just take the 3 races and those top 10s in all 3, that's 30 top 10 possibilities, okay? Their drivers have hit 17 of them. 12 of them were top 5s, 2 wins, of course, and they led all drivers with 137 of 225 laps led. That is 60% of the laps led were from Chevy drivers at COTA. And by the way, Chevy has been dominant also in the Xfinity Series at COTA as well. So that's important. By the way, that 12 top 5s, you know what that means? That means that out of the 3 top 5s we've had in 3 years, Chevy has been in the top 5 4 out of the 5 each year. That's dominant. Okay, 4 to 5, 4 to 5, 4 to 5. That's dominant. Ford, by the way, is actually second best. They have 8 top 10s out of 30. Toyota only has 5 top 10s out of 30, but because Reddick had the win last year, it makes it look better than it is, but it's not. That's the reason we're not taking Reddick again. One of the reasons we're not taking Reddick again. Obviously, the other one is odds. Big surprise. Okay. Let us start. Hey, it's back to AJ Allmendinger. AJ's back, and we're picking AJ this week. He's 15 to 1. We like those odds. Now, what we're going to do is, since there's only 3 races at COTA, as you can see, we're going to let you know what those results are on each driver. We're also, and this is also what took me a little bit extra time to prep for this particular show. We have all of the combined stats from every road course, the history of these drivers. Okay, so that's, I think, important, and that's why we did it. AJ, what it means is out of his 34 career road races, half of them have been in the top 10, and he has 3 wins. Now, why is he one of our picks besides that? Well, we're getting 15 to 1, which is a very good number. And if you look at it, yeah, he's only had 1 top 5, but the 34 to 33, you know what that means. He had mistakes. Something happened. Car wrecked, or got into trouble, or, and again, I'm not saying this is exactly what happened, but anytime you obviously see those numbers, something happened. And that doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't have a fast car. So I'd rather see that than see 18th and 15th, as weird as that sounds, because that means that maybe, it was bad luck. And I'm just saying that overall, not specifically at AJ, but anytime we talk about that, that's just because we're not gonna, dig in all the time, every time, and take a look if they're 33rd. Well, how did they race that week? All right. Here's another interesting trend that really matters, or stat. In 3 Xfinity Series races at this racetrack, AJ Allmendinger has finished first, and second behind Kyle Busch. That's really impressive. So he has overall, I guess you would say then he has 4 top 5s out of 6. And if he's completed a race or had a car that didn't get into some trouble, he's been there, potentially winning a race, if not winning a race, whenever he's been at COTA. So that's very impressive. And that's the reason why I'm definitely taking him. And by the way, he's won 3 different road course racetracks: Indy, Watkins Glen, and Roval. Okay, that's AJ. Now let's go to Christopher Bell. Chris Bell is at 10 to 1. And as far as those odds are concerned, because he's driving a Toyota, I think those are, I don't know, those are a little low for me, but I will say this. If you were to look at it, it's road course racing, and there's just big gaps in road course racing. There just are. So, Bell's a good road course driver. So it's probably a pretty good number. I think our strategy today is going to be, we're going all Chevy, and the only 3 drivers that are not Chevy we're taking are all big long shots. Okay? None of them are Toyotas. So that's just going to be our strategy. So Bell is obviously out because he's also had 2 bad races, 2 bad incidents, even though one was a third. And his only win was at the Roval. So he only has 1 win at road course racing. So we're skipping the Toyotas this week. Okay, Ryan Blaney is going to be one of the 3 long shots we're taking. Okay, and that's because of the big number. Ryan Blaney is 55 to 1. And I get it, but that is a big number. And the other reason why I think this is a good opportunity to take a few long shots in this particular road course race is because it's the first one of the year. And we don't know what kind of changes have been made. So that's important. So Blaney, and look, Blaney's had, as you can see, look at that, 50%, top 10. What's wrong with that? He's got a road course win. He was runner-up at Indy, and he does have a top 10 here. So, yeah, absolutely. Now, look, if he finishes 20th, and I don't know, maybe the next road course race he's 55 to 1, I'll probably pass. Okay, so yeah, I think he's definitely worth it at 55 to 1 to throw a couple of bucks on him. Alex Bowman, 25 to 1, is driving a Chevy, so he's in. 11 top 10s also. He's an underrated. The problem is that he's like, and this has really been the deal with Bowman over his career. He's not one to lead a lot of laps. When he wins races, he tends to win them late in races. So that hasn't changed in the road course situation. If you look at Bowman, 25 to 1 is a decent number, but he's only led 3 laps. Even though, look at that, 3rd, 2nd, and 8th. That's excellent. Excellent for this particular road course racetrack, but he's only led 3 laps. And you know what? In 25 road course races, he's led 5 laps. All right, so, and by the way, look at that, 2 of those runner-ups. So, do we think Bowman's going to win? Not likely, but Chevy driver, 25 to 1, excellent results here. He is a must-play. All right, let's go to Chase Briscoe. Now, he's another long shot, but we're going to avoid Chase Briscoe in this one. Briscoe's sitting there, just like Blaney at 55 to 1. But big difference is Briscoe does not have the success so far that Blaney has. Briscoe does have a top 10 here. But yeah, there's nothing I see about Chase Briscoe that leads me to believe that he's a play this week. Chris Buescher, also like Bowman at 25 to 1. Buescher has similar numbers to Bowman. Bowman's numbers are better. They are. But Buescher has decent numbers. But he's driving a Ford compared to a Chevy. That's the difference. If they were flipped, I'd go with Buescher, not Bowman. But that's the deal. Buescher has a top 10 here. And his runner-up was at Sonoma. Next up, Kyle Busch. And Kyle's getting 15 to 1. Now, I think this is pretty good. These are pretty nice numbers for Kyle Busch because look at that. 27 out of 48. I mean, that is a big number in his career in the top 10 for road course races. 18 top 5s and 4 wins for Kyle Busch. I know he's been going through some bad luck, but it's a road course race. Maybe that'll change his luck. He's led over 400 career laps on road course races. That's pretty impressive. And he's done well here. He's got that runner-up last time out. And remember, he did win at this racetrack in the first Xfinity Series race. So yes, he's a bargain at 15 to 1. I would grab him. I'm also taking William Byron for obvious reasons. And Byron there sitting there at 10 to 1. He's a good road course driver. He's not great. He's not very good. He's not bad. He's good. He's okay. He's got the win. That was at Watkins Glen. And he's been real solid here. Those are solid numbers. And he's led 28 laps. Matter of fact, all 28 laps he led last year, finishing 5th. Because of that, 10 to 1, I think he is a must-play. My top pick of the week, based on the combination of the driver stats and the odds, is Ross Chastain. I was able to get Ross Chastain at 16 to 1 at my sports book, and I was also able to get Kyle Busch at a good number 2. I think similar, 15 to 1, something like that. And I took them both early in the week, Tuesday, as soon as the odds came out. No idea why Ross Chastain was 16 to 1 on my sports book. I don't even know why he's 12 to 1. I mean, look at his career racing here. Look at that. Nobody's better than that. First, fourth, and first. I mean, come on. I mean, he's better than Reddick. Seriously. I mean, they both have a win. Chastain's got 3 top 5s. Reddick has 2. I don't understand this. Chastain's driving a Chevy. What am I missing here? I really don't understand why Ross Chastain's 12 to 1. Somebody has to kind of maybe put it in the comment section. Maybe there's something I'm missing. This is a steal. Ross Chastain, in my mind, should be the second choice to win this race. Matter of fact, I think Reddick should be like 5 or 6 to 1, and Chastain should be like 6 or 7 to 1. And Elliott should be like 7 to 1, like pretty much where he is. So I'm all over Ross Chastain, obviously. Austin Cindric is one of the other long shots we're going with. All right, Austin, good road course racer, so that's why we're going with him. You can see the 2 top 10s here. He's got a runner-up. That was at Indianapolis. And he has improved in all 3 of his races here. So he's definitely one of our long shot plays. Now it's Chase Elliott time. By the way, if you haven't seen us do this before, we go in alphabetical order. If you haven't picked up on that yet, Chase Elliott. And look, I think Elliott is a real good number. This is a good number for Elliott. He's not been overpriced. I think it's a fair price, and I'm taking it. He's starting to show a little bit of something, and now I really expect him to lead laps. I expect him, even if he doesn't win, I expect him to come back and show us that he is back. So I expect that. If I don't get that, I think this should be a little bit more concerned, but I'm not surprised he's off to a little bit of a slow start. Remember, it's not about how you start in NASCAR, it's how you finish. But I think Chase is going to have a good day on Sunday. Look at his stats. We all know how great he is. I think we maybe have forgotten that. Maybe not. He's 7-1. But hey, at times, whenever he was on, he'd be 4-1, 3-1. So look at a COTA, 4th and 1st. So yes, I got to go with Chase Elliott, especially since I'm not taking Reddick. Elliott definitely, for me, is a must-play. Now, Gibbs, I'm a little bit surprised about. Actually, you know what? I just saw something that I should change. And there it is. He is 11-1. I don't know what he is right now. Right now, he's 10-1. But I'm going by the numbers I was using a couple days ago when CJ put his picks in. So, Gibbs driving a Toyota. I think the odds are a little low. I have no idea. None. Why Gibbs is favored slightly over Ross Chastain. I haven't the slightest idea. Right now, Ty Gibbs is the co-third choice. There's no explanation. I have no idea. We all know how good the kid is. I know. He's on my fantasy team in this league. But come on. I don't get it. I mean, if he's 15-1, where he shouldn't be better than Chastain. He shouldn't be better than Kyle. He should not be better than, who else did we talk about? AJ. He should not be better than AJ. And he's driving a Toyota. So no. Can he win? Of course he can. Of course he can. But odds-wise, Toyota, no way. Denny Hamlin. Denny, even though he's getting 22-1, honestly, it kind of feels like he should be 25-30-1. Even though, historically, he's had moments. He's got a win. He has some decent top 10 stats and pretty decent top 5 stats. But he has only won once at a 36. And look at what he's done here. Nothing. He's led 3 laps here. So, yeah, Toyota, I have no reason to believe that Denny Hamlin would be a good play here. See, I'm not getting 50-1. If I'm getting 50-1, I'm putting money on Hamlin. But 22-1, I just can't do that. It's not high enough for me. Look at Keselowski. Now here's 100-1. But Keselowski's never been that great of a road course driver anyway. And he hasn't been good here. So it's a hard pass. Kyle Larson, in a way, I'm a little bit surprised he's 12-1. He's the one driver that, when I put my initial list down, Larson was I'm pretty sure he was the only one I had to back out of because I just didn't have enough. And instead of bringing my money down, and you know how I have told you before, I don't like doing that. If I lose, I lose. I just rather put more money on my drivers so I can make more. If that means I win, if I miss out 1 week and I hit it 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4, but that's fine as long as I'm winning, and I'm making up for it because of the fact I'm putting big money on these drivers, and I just can't do that if I'm taking Larson. But Larson's a fine play. He's a good road course driver. He's not great, even though he's got 4 wins, because if he was great, he'd be 6 or 7-1. But he's good. He's very good. But I just, like I said, and he's driving a Chevy. But the thing what put me, what completely got me away from him was he had a runner-up, but he hasn't done anything here the last 2 years. And I don't even think he's led a lap. I do not believe, let me see. Yes, he's led 4 laps. That's it. So he hasn't done anything here. His career, He had now the runner up, of course, is good, and nothing wrong with that, and we know how good he is as a driver, period, on the road courses. But he had 2 Watkins Glens win, a Sonoma win, a Roval win. Yeah, I like him, but I just the other drivers I took, I told you why I'm going with them. I would definitely take Larson over Gibbs. I would take Larson over Bell. I would take Larson over a few other drivers, including, maybe this is even a good spot to mention, the road course. What do you call it? What's that word? He's the ringer, and that is Shane Van Gisbergen. Because I would take Larson over Van Gisbergen, and Van Gisbergen is now 10-1. And Van Gisbergen, yes, he won at Chicago, but I'm sorry, street racing is not road course racing. That's number one. And by the way, remember, I think people kind of remember differently, because he did not dominate the race. He came on strong late, and basically, and we talked about it at the time. Thought Haley, being a little bit more aggressive, might have been able to win that race, and he wasn't. Van Gisbergen went ahead and won that race, stole it late, and he was 10th at Indy. That's what we got. So why am I going to put money on Van Gisbergen at 10-1 when I can put money at 11-1, which is what he is right now, Larson? So I definitely take Larson over Van Gisbergen, and I would take Larson over Reddick. Absolutely. Reddick at 4-1. I'm getting 12-1 with Larson. So again, that's what I'm trying to let you know. It's not like I don't like Larson. I just couldn't fit him. Now, here's a guy I put. This is my last of the long shots, Logano. So I went with the Penske team. And look at that. Like Blaney, 50%, top 10. He's got 11 top 5s. Logano is a solid road course racer. I think he's a notch below Larson, but I don't think he's 55-1. I'm taking that. I know they haven't had success here the last couple of years and all that. And look, Logano's been hit or miss at times on road course racing. I get that. And Ford, compared to Chevy, not that good. But 55-1, you have to take. I mean, if you go with long shots each week, he's a must long shot play this week. McDowell, 17-1. He's driving a Ford, of course. He's had some moments on the road. He's got the win at Indy. He's been okay here. McDowell's been all right. That's why he's 17-1. But I need McDowell to be 25 or 30-1 before I take McDowell. But 17-1 is not bad. I mean, I'm not telling. Look, if he goes out there and he qualifies well, practices well, qualifies well, whatever they're doing. I don't know what the practice schedule is this week, but if he goes out there, looks like he's because those odds aren't going to go down that much. So if he looks, unless he's on the pole, but let's say he's top 5 in both, I might look his way, as long as the odds don't drop that much. But, it's, again, same thing. There's only so much we can take, and he is getting odds pretty respectable. Let's keep this in mind. He's not that far off from the Kyle Bushes and the Ross Chastains. So, to me, that's a big difference. Okay. Now comes the favorite, Mr. Reddick. 4-1. No way. Look, he got better each race here. He won the race last year. He has a better, and he led 41 laps in that race. And matter of fact, his total laps, most of them all came last year. So it's not like he's led like 10, 15, 22, 41. Most of them were last year. Okay. And Reddick is right now one of the best road course drivers. But do I believe Tyler Reddick is that much better than Elliott and Larson and Byron and Busch and Chastain? No, I don't. I don't. I think what it comes down to is the car, and that's it. And right now, to me, even though he won, it's still a big edge for Chevy here. So because of that, for instance, I'd rather say, well, all right, let's say, let me do some math here. Let's say I were to let's just round it out, put $100 on Reddick, and he wins, and that's 400. Now I put 50 on Elliott at 7-1, and that's 250. And I put 50 on, let's just say, his teammate Larson. Oh, no, let's just put somebody I did, Chastain, at 12-1, and that's $600. Okay, so I mean, look at that. I mean, if you look at it, even if I just look at it from the respect of Chastain only, let's just use Chastain because, like I told you, he's my top guy. I'm betting half the money on Chastain, and I'm making $200 more. I'm almost. I mean, really, that's. And what I could do is, I can even use. I mean, even if I used Elliott only, I'm in a situation where I'm putting the same amount of money, okay, on those two drivers for Reddick. So I got 2 for 1. Are you telling me Tyler Reddick's twice as good as those guys? Come on, that's not no way. So here I'm putting down 50 each on the drivers, or if I just want to put 50, or I want to save my money, I could bet half the money, and I'm making more with Chastain. But let's say I do Chastain and Busch. Okay, I could put the same amount on both of them, and either one wins, I'm making more money. So it's just, it doesn't make any sense for me to do that if I don't believe. Look, if Reddick had won 3 out of 4 here, that would be completely different. But it just doesn't exist. He's not driving a Chevy. There's not that kind of scenario we got going on here. I'm sorry, we just don't. We have a lot of good Chevy drivers that you're getting much better odds with. And even if Reddick wins, and we all know he could definitely win, I get that, but this is always about wagering strategy, and it makes no wagering sense, not this week, to go with Tyler Reddick. It just doesn't, not for me. And just a few more left. Suarez, pretty low number, 16-1 for Suarez, but he is Chastain's teammate, and he does have a win at Sonoma. And Suarez is okay. Problem is, he's not okay here. That's where it completely loses me. He's done nothing here. And I mean, his odds are similar to McDowell. McDowell's been excellent here compared to Suarez. So why would I take Suarez over McDowell? That doesn't make sense. Truex 13-1. I hit Truex. Don't you forget? I did. Did I hit Truex? Which race did I hit him last year? I hit him. I forget which race I hit him last year, but I hit him in that race last year, and I think it was. It might have been Sonoma. I think it was Sonoma, and his odds were like 20-1 or something. I forget what they were, and it was because of the car. See, this is a great example. What we were just talking about with me talking about the 55-1 shots, and Toyota as well. Okay, now. Reddick's 4-1, so that doesn't count. But what I did is I said, well, wait a second. Why am I not taking Truex here? He's really, I mean, he's a very good road course racer. And it was because Toyotas weren't doing really well. Remember, going into last year with the new car at the road course races. And so there's a lot of questions about it. But it was early in the season. It was only the second race. And I said, well, come on, I don't care. It's definitely worth a shot at this point. Same reason why I've taken a few shots with some of these other long shots, and why you should do that. Same thing. Obviously, there's other drivers with good numbers besides the one I've taken. So go ahead and gamble on a Ford or a Toyota driver that's getting good odds, because you just don't know. Now, Truex, the odds are solid again, though. That's the reason why I'm not taking him. He does not even have a top 5 here. But but what was that? 4 out of those 5 are at Sonoma. So that's different. So like I was just saying about Reddick. See, Reddick doesn't have like 3 out of 4 wins at this racetrack. So yeah, I can't now. If Truex was 20-1, 25-1, I would take him. But I'm not going to take him at a price where there's a lot of other good Chevy drivers that I could be taking. And Bubba Wallace, I mean, look at that. That's just, look at that. He has improved each one of his races here. You got to give him that. That's bad. Okay. Picks. Here they are. Here's the official picks. All right. CJ's going with Van Gisbergen, but he also is going against Reddick. And this is not a race that I would say, sometimes I'll say, well, there is a race where I'll go, okay, you know what? If you want to go all in on a driver, that's a short number. This is a race to do that. I don't think this is a race to do that with Reddick. I don't. And again, because it's the first road race of the year, I just got to see a road course race this year before I can just, throw money at a heavy favorite like Reddick when there's so many other really good road course drivers getting much better odds. So that's how I'm laying it out. As you can see, my top number there is Chastain, and overall, that is going to be my top pick. So Chastain, and then Elliott, and AJ. Those are my top 3. And CJ's top 3, Van Gisbergen, Reddick, and Larson. So he doesn't have Reddick on his picks, but he's, if you just, hey, who's going to win? Who you going with? That's what CJ's doing. And I did that a few weeks ago. Remember, I did that with Larson. He wasn't on my picks, but I had him as one of my top picks. I think I might have had him on my top pick. Remember, he was a low number, 4-1 or something. I wasn't putting him on my picks, but I told you that I would definitely play him. If it's, again, because remember, this is different, $100 each week. And a couple of weeks ago, I did say that would be a race that I would put money on Larson. Just like I said a few minutes ago, I would not do that with Reddick this week. So there are times I will do that. I will say, 4-1. Yeah, this is a week. If you're just going with one driver, you want to put all the money on a driver, I'd do that. I'd gamble on that. I just wouldn't do it this week. And long shots, CJ's top long shot is similar to mine because he has just one long shot. That's Cindric. And then I have Cindric, and of course, basically my long shots are the Penske team. And that's it. So there you go. That is going to wrap it up for our coverage here for the first road course race of 2024. And let me know what you think about the show as always. Please subscribe. Also, we are working hard behind the scenes. We're working with professional editors, people that are going to come on board and are going to spruce up our channel and make the videos look even much more professional. And it's going to be great. And you know why I know that? It's because I'm working on it. And I don't have to say, well, somebody else is telling me this. This is what's going to happen. I'm not going to say exactly what yet because we haven't finalized, dotted the I's or crossed the T's, but we're working on that. Everything is so far talk, a lot of oral conversations and such, but we are getting there. And as soon as we do, I'll let you know, and then you'll see it with our first video. So we're getting there, promise you, and it's going to make it just a little bit more entertaining because I know how important entertainment is than just me sitting here throwing stats at you. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up. I hope these stats have been, really important for you. I hope you've made some money off of it or your fantasy teams are kicking butt. And if you have any questions at all over something I didn't put out there, anything at all, driver, which way would you go, this guy, that guy, anything at all, just let me know. And of course, you can let me know either on the YouTube channel, on the comment section, or check out the link for Discord. We have a motorsports Discord channel as well. So good luck for everybody. Enjoy the race. I hope it's a good one. It's the first road course race of the season, so we're going to just keep our fingers crossed because we don't want these road course races looking all that boring after the first one, because then it could be a long year. So good luck on Sunday, and we'll see you again. What do we got coming up next week? Next week is Richmond, and it's a night race. It's Easter Sunday. Yeah, it's always weird. I don't know why they're doing a night race on Easter, but it is what it is. It's a night race, 7 o'clock, Richmond. And not sure when I'm going to be doing the show, but I would say we're back to a normal early. It's not going to be late. So hopefully we'll be back and I'll be able to record the show on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And again, good luck. We'll see you then.